This is a kissing bug, and there are thousands of people alive today that will eventually die from something like a heart attack because this bug, it's nocturnal and it was feeding on them at night and it pooped on them and it passed on a parasite. So I'm going to give you the science teacher breakdown of the kissing bug and this parasite. A new study was published that basically argued that we need to acknowledge that this is here in the southern US. It used to be something that we considered endemic to like further south, but that's clearly not the case. And they now think that around 300,000 people in the US could have this and not realize it. That's because the illness tends to lie dormant for years, only making itself known when its victim keels over via heart attack, stroke, or death. The problem here isn't so much the kissing bug. They're nocturnal animals and they tend to bite people around the eyes when people are sleeping. And while they're doing that, they also tend to poop, and their poop carries these parasites. And if you're scratching that itchy eye and you kind of cause your skin to tear open a little bit, they can invade and they get into your bloodstream. Once they get into your bloodstream, they swim around and they invade cells. It can be muscle cells, they invade. And when they do that, they start to transform into a form that they aren't inside of that insect. And this form they transform into, there is no flagellum, there is no tail. They just kind of sit in these cells and they divide and multiply. That sounds weird to say back to back, but as they divide, more are formed, and then they eventually go back into that form with the tail, burst out of the cell, and they continue that process. So this goes on for years. And as this goes on, your body's constantly fighting these things, and it's doing an okay job, but over the long term, it's a numbers game. It's going to end up losing. And what ends up happening is that in many people, those organs actually just get so damaged over time, so much scar tissue, that it eventually leads to their failure. And that's how this can lead to a heart attack 30 years after the initial bite. So that's Chagas disease. That's how you get it from these insects that end up pooping oftentimes on your face. And this map is showing kind of where it's spreading and where it's been identified. In some places, it's only been identified in like dogs and other non-human mammals. But the overall theme certainly seems to be that this is something that's going to continue getting worse. And we need to understand it more, and we need better awareness so people understand that this may be what's going on with them. It's not required to be reported at this point. They're suggesting with this study that we should start trying to report this more so we can collect more data and get a better understanding.